Hi, hello, welcome. My name is Rachel, for those of you who are new here, and for those of you who are returning, hey, what's up? How's it going? Clark has decided to kind of join. I like to believe comfort and support right now. Today we are doing a video that may be my worst or maybe my best idea that I've ever had. Yeah, get out of here, Clark. We're playing a game. Been trying to think of what to call it. I'm going to be going through books that are uber hyped right now, and there's going to be a few surprises throughout of books maybe from the past that were super hyped, some OG hyped books. Basically, I'm going to be giving my opinion on them, whether or not they are perfectly, or what I'm thinking of maybe calling it proper hyped, or if it's overhyped. So I'm going to be putting books into two categories. Now, I need to preface this and say these are all my opinions. I don't think anyone should think exactly the same way as me. And books that are overhyped, it doesn't mean that I don't like them. This may be a little bit controversial. And how I picked these books are, I basically just scrolled on TikTok for like 30 minutes. And this is how I picked the books. And I picked books that I have actually read. Like, that's key, obviously. So without further ado, let's get into it. The very first one is The Spanish Love Deception by Elena Armas. I read this one last year sometime, and automatically I knew which side I wanted to put it in. And it is overhyped. It's fine, but it's not like it's forgettable. 3 stars. And so for me, overhyped. You don't have to read it. It's not going to change your life. The chemistry is like fine, but it's not all it's cracked up to be. The Guest List by Lucy Foley. This one I really wanted to read because I just kept seeing it everywhere. And my opinion, overhyped. When I read it, I liked the twist at the end, but when it comes to like actual like meaningful thrillers and ones that have like really stuck with me, it just hasn't. It hasn't stuck with me. Like, it's fine, but it's not enough to where it should have all of this hype around it. So, my opinion, overhyped. Love and Other Words by Christina Lauren. If you have watched my reading blog about this, or even watched my February wrap-up, you'll probably know where I'm going to put it. Improper hyped. I don't like that. I'm sorry. Properly hyped. I loved this book. It was so cute, so meaningful, and so I understand why this one is so hyped. The Twisted Games. Well, it's actually called, it's the Twisted series. I wrote down Twisted Games, but probably all of them. These must be really good then, because they're literally everywhere. No. Overhyped. Way overhyped. The story itself, the romance itself, very fun. It was just so fast and very surface level. And so for me, I didn't feel it as much. Like, some of the chemistry with some of the characters weren't even that great. And so to me, I was like, why are these so hyped? Book Lovers by Emily Henry. Really, Emily Henry in general could just go in here because her books are so hyped. There's a good reason behind that, all right? These are properly hyped. The writing style in these, the contemporary romance in them, the depth in which she goes into her characters, and they both have like meaning to them. I love her books. I specifically love this one. She is like one of the queens right now, and it's because she writes dang good books. Daisy Jones and the Six by TJR. I'm kind of giving Daisy Jones a little bit today. My personal opinion, and I feel like I could get hate for this, is Daisy Jones is overhyped. Now, I understand why it's so hyped. Like, it's one of those books, like, I get it, but personal opinion, it's not a complete story. And for me, because of that, I can't get through it. These women in this story are just amazing, and Billy doesn't deserve them. So anyways, that's why That's why, in my opinion, it's overhyped. My Year of Rest and Relaxation by Ottessa Moshfegh. I don't know how to say it. I got this when it first came out. So I read this one before it was uber hyped, which I feel like gives me a better idea of how I feel about it. And my opinion, overhyped. It's a good literary fiction. I like the strangeness of it. I like the weirdness of it, but it was a bit too abstract to where I just didn't fully understand what I was supposed to be getting out of it. So my opinion, overhyped. Punk 57 by Penelope Douglas. This book was literally everywhere. It's still on the Barnes & Noble book talk table. This is another book that I actually read before it was uber hyped. In my opinion, properly hyped. I really liked this book. Her stories are so interesting, and she's really good at writing like chemistry and like just characters that end up together. I don't know. Guilty pleasure is Penelope Douglas. So I Live, Laugh, Loved It. So Birthday Girl by Penelope Douglas. And this one's the complete opposite. Overhyped. Like I don't understand why people love this book so much. I have nothing against a age gap romance, but when you do an age gap with the father of your ex-boyfriend, no. Like that would make her ex-boyfriend's stepmom. Like what the heck? Like that's too strange for me. Don't like it. Gives me the ick. So way overhyped. Kingdom of the Wicked by Carrie Maniscalco. I feel like this one is like on the rise right now. Apologies, Carrie. But this trilogy is overhyped in my opinion. The first time I read it, I loved it. But the second time, like what the heck? The first book is good, but the rest of the trilogy? Like, what happened, bestie? We went off the deep end when it came to these plot holes and all of these. She tried to do way too much all at once. Little plot points. And it's like this. Instead of like this, where it's like low lows and high highs, you just get like a little dusting of things. The way our main character reacts to things is so unbelievable. So anyways, overhyped in my opinion. The Six of Crows duology by Leigh Bardugo, and I read this when it first came out. Again, another OG. What can I say? Read this back in college many years ago, and my opinion, properly hyped. I read this the first time, I fell in love. I had never read a Leigh Bardugo series or duology, and wow, I absolutely loved the fantasy heist of this. Like, I was sucked in. So in my mind, 10 out of 10. Like, you got me, girl, and I will ride for you. I understand why this is so hyped, because it's that dang good. The Selection series by Kiera Class? Something like that. This series is one that I read again a long time ago. In my mind, overhyped. It's just, I hated it. I don't know what it was about it. Maybe it was our main character, our main girl, that was just so annoying. America, of all things. But yeah, way overhyped. And when I saw like a resurgence of it and like some of like my favorite booktubers reading it, I was like, oh boy, why are we doing this? It was good for a certain time, but now we're past that time. Let's not bring it back. Let's leave it where it was. Okay? Okay. Icebreakers by Anna Grace. I read after it was uber hyped. I was seeing it everywhere. I had a friend who got it and she was like, hey, are you gonna read this? And I was like, yes. And I sped through this sucker. Properly hyped. It is such a good romance. I didn't realize, like, probably I would say my new favorite. The writing in it is so good. The characters are so good. You have like a really good like side characters around all of them, and so like it's perfect for spin-offs. Love this book. So excited for her next one. Let's get it, Hannah. The Shatter Me series by Tahereh Mafi. Again, I read this one back in college, so back before really its resurgence. I want to say I did read it when it was hyped back in my time. When I first read it, I loved it, but now it's overhyped. It's fine. It's good. I would say it's probably a 4 stars. Like, I understand why people love it so much. But in my opinion, I think it's just overhyped. I really don't know how to explain this one. I just think it's overhyped. Like, it's good, but does it need to be everywhere all at once? No. The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides. So this one I definitely read after it was already uber hyped. And in my opinion, I get it. Now, did it change my life? Was it as good as I thought it was going to be? No, but it was still so good. Like, it didn't meet expectation, but it was close. It's a thriller like you have never read before. It wasn't too confusing during it that I couldn't follow along and I couldn't rule out suspects and I couldn't play the game with it. Like, it was just so much fun to read, but then the twist, it got me good. So Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score. These are making the rounds right now. Oh my goodness, especially this one and the second one, and then the third one is coming out. Like, wow. It's overhyped. It's fine. It's cute, but it's so cheesy. Like, the banter is so cheesy and so kind of cringy. Like, it's good. Like, it is. It's fun as a beach read, but change your life overhyped the way it's talked about? No. The Binding 13 series by Chloe Walsh. This one I read because it's one of Destiny's favorites and unfortunately overhyped. I don't understand. This one I really don't understand why it's so hyped. It's so cyclical in that they just keep going through the same drama over and over and over again, and they're so long. It's just okay, I just need to skim this. I just need to read the ending because we just keep going through the same thing over and over again, and there's no good bits to keep me going. It's all just depressing, sad stuff that just keeps happening. I don't understand. It's fine, but it's not that good. So way overhyped. The Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. I think it's perfectly hyped. I think everyone nailed it with this one, especially because I think a lot of people don't necessarily like to read YA as much anymore. And so the fact that everyone loves this one, it already had points stacked against it, and yet against all odds, it's amazing. The mystery was good. Pip was fun. I think it's just a combination of the writing style, the characters' personalities, and the mystery and how well that was executed. Of course it's gonna be up there. His and Hers by Alice Feeney. This is another one that I feel is gonna be a little bit controversial, so I'm a little bit scared to say it, but it's overhyped. It has to do with Alice Feeney's writing style and how she writes thrillers. She makes it absolutely impossible for you to guess who did it, and for me, that's just not fun. And also with how many plot twists she adds over and over and over again, it's just exhausting to read, in my opinion. And so I just think it's a little bit overhyped. And sure, while you're reading it, it's really fun, but after it, you're just kind of oh, okay. It's a one and done. I'm sorry, but overhyped. It's Harry Potter by J.K. Rowling, and this one I feel will have mixed responses to it. You don't have to like J.K. Rowling to know that, yes, this is properly hyped. Popularity, the audience that it still has a chokehold on, the way these characters make you feel. And even if you've watched the movies, you do not know the books. And I mean this in the sense that the way that the books end and that final battle is completely different in the books than it is on screen. So I still recommend reading it. There's just something so timeless about this series that, of course, it's going to be properly hyped for the rest of time. The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. This one really popped off, and I wasn't really on social media all that much when it did pop off, in my opinion. Properly hyped. I loved this book so much. I thought the writing style was really good. I just found it really interesting. The mixture between the biology, science, and the research with this beautiful tropey romance going on. I just thought it was so cute. Everything about it. So, in my opinion, properly hyped. The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. This one, so hyped when I was in high school. It's properly hyped. I feel like this one really set the bar for dystopian YA novels, and because of that, I gotta put some respect on the name. The messages in it are still so prevalent, and so there's just something about that just makes it so timeless. So, properly hyped. The Deal by L. Kennedy. Again, a series that I read back in college before it was uber hyped. I think it's properly hyped. I just think it's so cute. I know now people have a lot more things to choose from. I mean, in my mind, Icebreaker is better than The Deal, but still, I feel like it was ahead of its time in terms of body positivity and safe sex practices. This book, I think, is properly hyped. I think it's always going to be hyped, and I think it's always going to be a beloved series, especially in this genre. So, The Atlas 6 by Olivie Blake. This one I read way after it was hyped. I'm the last one who read it. It is properly hyped. Abso-freaking-lutely. The way that this book blew my mind, and I just never wanted it to end. I knew it was hyped, but when an overhyped book can surprise you and make you even more excited about it, that means something. So, properly hyped. The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. This one, again, I read before it was hyped. I read it when it first came out, and so, trendsetter. It's just a little bit overhyped. It's fine. It's not anything to write home about. I think it's just because it's good, but it's not to the level that everyone says it is. Sure, the relationship between Jude and Carden in it is fun. It doesn't hit that hard for me. There's just, in my mind, there's just better books out there. Twilight by Stephanie Meyer. I feel like my friends are gonna be really mad at me for this. I think it's overhyped. I mean, in my mind, I still love it, and I love it for the nostalgia factor, and I love it for just kind of who I was when I read it, but there's a lot of problematic stuff in here. There's just a lot of things in here that I'm wow, we really loved this book, and for what? For what main character? Bella's not a good main character. Just, it's overhyped. I mean, it's uber hyped in my mind, and I love it there, but society as a whole, overhyped. The final book. You'll probably be oh, I've been waiting for this one, because it's got to be somewhere. We really could have done any of her series, but I just chose the one that is the most hyped, and it is A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. So hyped. And it still is hyped. And it's gonna stay hyped because it's proper hyped, honey. It belongs at the top. Not to say that I am the reason why Sarah J. Maas is so hyped now, but I am one of the OG hypers. A roommate suggested that I read it because the second book was coming out. A Court of Mist and Fury hadn't come out yet when I read this. And so I read this, and then the next book came out, and I was hooked, baby. I needed everyone to read this, so I am happy. I am so happy with how many people have now read it. It's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. I am part of the reason why this is so hyped, because I would not shut up about it. I told my friends, I told my bookstagram, I told everyone, go read this book. And look at you all. Now you're all reading it, and I love that. So properly hyped, love the cast of characters, love the world, love everything about this, really. I absolutely adore this series, okay? Love me, hate me, but I love it. I love it. Properly hyped. Okay, that is it. Wow, I am sweating. This was a lot to get through, and this was a lot of like fast opinions and like just saying what was on my mind. I apologize if any of the books that I talked badly about are your favorite. I love that they're your favorite. Anyways, that is it for today. Please comment, like, subscribe if you want to. If you want more videos like this, I can do some more videos like this. Woo!